It was April 7th. It was a weekend for a baseball tournament. It was a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And after his third baseball game, he wanted a friend to come over. Well, we had been at the baseball field all day long. I found his parents, and we agreed that they would come over at 4:30. We had never had Wendy, Mason, and Brandon over before. When I got home, there was so much to do. I had laundry, the beds weren't made, the house was a mess, we were dirty. It just was probably not the perfect time to have people over, but I'm a busy mom, I can do this, let's knock this out and have these people over. I was in the kitchen cooking and my right arm started feeling funny. And then almost immediately I felt a burning in my chest and I thought, I have heartburn. This jalapeno dip is giving me heartburn. So I went and I got some Tums, came back in the kitchen. So I said, Chapel, I need to sit down just a minute, I don't feel too good. Sitting down on the couch with him and he said, Mommy, are you okay? Went to the bathroom and I immediately started to sweat. It was a cold, just profuse sweat. It was just a feeling that I wanted to get all my clothes off. You just want the elephant off your chest. You want everything to come off. And I kind of started panicking.
We came to the door and we knocked on the door and nobody answered. And we knocked again and nobody answered.
Talking myself through this, saying, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, just breathe, just breathe.
And we rang the doorbell.
The Chapel said, Mom, they're here. And I was like, great.
And then we saw Jennie's son, Chapel, and he came to the door and he greeted our son and they went upstairs to play and Jennie came out a few minutes later.
And I went out to the door and I saw Wendy look at me funny. I said, I think I ate something bad. Give me just a minute, I'm so sorry.
She was sweating, she was hunched over, she was telling me she didn't feel well.
As soon as I sat down, I said, Wendy, I think I'm gonna be sick. And
I looked at her and I said, do you think I need to call 911?
I don't know, I was cooking and my right arm started feeling bad and my chest started hurting and I couldn't breathe and I was sweating. And
she looked at me and she said, my right arm is going numb. And as soon as she said my right arm is going numb, I said, I'm calling 911.
She said, you're having a heart attack. And I said, how could I be having a heart attack? I'm 41.
So Jennie was a little bit in denial.
Maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. And it can't be because I have company over right now. And then I'm thinking, I'm so sorry. I just felt terrible. I felt like I invited these people over and I've got to get it together.
When your family has some kind of illness, you're always kind of aware, so I've always read up on the symptoms. Once Jennie said my right arm went numb, I knew that had to be a heart attack. I remember the 911 operator telling me to have her chew 5 baby aspirin. I had her lie down and I asked her to squeeze my hand and she could hardly squeeze my hand. And within minutes, the first responders came.
We received the call for Jennie's heart attack. We arrived at the residence and found her sitting in, I believe, the bedroom. She didn't want to believe that she was having a heart attack. Women deny it very strongly.
I was laying there and the EMS guy said, we're gonna call it. And I said, what are you gonna call? Sam's already on his way. And he said, ma'am, you're having a heart attack. We're calling into the hospital that you're on your way.
At that point, I left the room, but she kept apologizing. Even when they carried her out on the stretcher, she was like apologizing to us. We were like, it's okay, like you need to go find out what's going on.
And I just remember thinking, does that mean I'm gonna die? I can't die. I've already lost one friend. This can't happen. And I just remember saying, God, please don't let this be me. I remember going onto the gurney and them wheeling me out and thinking, okay, Wendy, blow out the candles, turn the oven off. And again, I'm so sorry. I could hear conversation about which hospital to go to. Later, I learned that there's a machine in all the ambulances called Mission Lifeline. And it can tell ambulance and the EMS what hospital has the least amount of wait and if there's an open cath lab.
What saved Jennie's life was that 911 was called and she was diagnosed in the field by the paramedics. The hospital, or the nearest hospital, was alerted and the cardiac catheterization team was basically there and ready to take her straight to the operating room when she arrived to the hospital.
So from Wendy's call to 911 to when I had 2 stents in my heart was 52 minutes, which is an unbelievable time. And that's all due to the first responders, the awesome firemen that came, and the EMS that did their job perfect that day.
Later that night, Jennie texted me right out of surgery, and she was like, "Thank you." And I was like, I couldn't even believe that somebody who just had major surgery could just send a text. And she was like, "It was meant to be." And she said, "You were just there at the right time. It was meant to be." And I said, "I think we were just destined to be friends."
I've asked Dr. Osdill probably a dozen times, why did this happen?
When people have heart attacks, the norm is that there's a lot of plaque in their arteries. And what happens when the plaque becomes unstable, a clot can develop. Jennie was a unique case in that she had only a very small amount of plaque in one of her arteries.
I just want every woman to know that to listen to their heart, to listen to their bodies, to not be sorry when you're sick or you feel bad, to speak up. If just one person knows the signs and the symptoms, that they would call their doctor and get checked or get help if that was happening to them. My name is Jennie Covert Stewart. I am a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother of 3, and a heart attack survivor. This is why I go red for women.